I cloned a $30,000 per month AI SaaS app without writing a single line of code. This bank statement converter took me a couple hours to create using only one AI tool, and today I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. You'll see how I analyzed a successful business, how I cloned every feature, how I connected Stripe to make money right away, and launched a fully functional product that generates serious revenue. No coding skills required. What used to take development team months now takes hours with this method. Let me show you how. Step 1, initial prompt and future planning. So now at the start of a build like this, there's always that mix of curiosity and momentum. You've got the idea, it makes sense in your head, but turning that into something real always takes that first move. In this case, I don't want to build a bank statement converter app. It's a clear, practical concept with a ton of real-world use. So to get things rolling, I start by laying it all out in a single detailed prompt, like we will be building a bank statement converter app with PDF bank statement conversion to digital formats, CSV, Excel, OFX, QFX, support for 10,000 plus banks worldwide, private and secure processing, no data storage, fast conversion under 2 minutes, multiple statement upload capability, budget management tools, full transaction history export, easy import to accounting software like QuickBooks and Xero, etc. Replit responds with a clean UI scaffold. It includes a file upload field, a drop-down menu for selecting the output format, and a start converting button. And right beneath that, as you can see, there are quick access buttons for CSV, for Excel, OFX, and QFX. And visually, it looks intuitive and straightforward. The layout is clean and all the key actions are exactly where we expect them to be. But once we look under the hood, it becomes clear that the actual functionality isn't there yet. The app doesn't actually process any files, and the converter logic still needs to be built. It's a solid starting point, don't get me wrong, but right now it's just a front-end kind of shell without a working engine behind it. Step 2, fixing the file conversion process. Now that the layout looks good, okay, let's see if this thing actually works, because it's one thing to have a polished interface, but none of it really matters if the core functionality doesn't hold up. So let's try converting a file for the first time. I upload a sample bank statement PDF, hit the start converting button, and for a second, everything feels promising. The UI says the download has started, and then nothing. No file, no download, no error. Just that moment where you're not even sure if you should wait or even refresh the page, you know? That kind of moment is always frustrating, especially when everything looks like it should be working on the surface. So we're going to drop in this prompt. There is still an error when I click on the start converting button, and follow it up with another line to clarify the issue. It says the download has started, but nothing happened. There were no files downloaded. And at this point, it's easy to imagine how confusing that would be for someone actually trying to use the app. There's no confirmation, no feedback, no file. It just kind of leaves us hanging it. And that has to change. The download needs to trigger immediately, and the output has to be real, of course. Replit patched the issue by configuring the backend route so it actually returns downloadable files. On the second attempt, the browser finally prompts a file download. Now that's a step in the right direction at least. But you know what, to make sure, let's try checking the file, and I noticed here that the contents are just static dummy text, completely unrelated to the uploaded statement. So we're going to send in another prompt to keep things moving in the right direction. Currently, the converted statements are all the same, meaning there is something wrong with the functionality. Make sure it can accurately convert PDF statements into the preferred output format. Replit rewrites the PDF parsing in the formatting logic, and after this update, the app stops faking the output and starts pulling actual transaction data from the uploaded PDFs. The files now structure that data correctly in CSV and Excel format. I'm going to run 5 different sample statements through it just to be sure, and now it finally looks like the core conversion feature is doing what it's supposed to. Step 3, fixing all output format issues. At this point, the OFX format works fine. It gets the job done without any obvious issues, but everything else, well, not so much. The CSV and an Excel files look rough. Some are missing basic headers, others show placeholder content that clearly doesn't match the original statement. And when we try to generate a QFX file here, nothing happens. It doesn't even download, which is a problem if someone's relying on that format for bookkeeping. Now, given that, we will let the agent know what's going on. There are errors when I try to convert a PDF. Make sure to fix all output formats and not only OFX effects. So this part of the process is always a little tedious, but it is important because each format has its own quirks, so it's not enough to fix one and then assume the others will follow. Replit goes in and reworks the export logic for all of them, line by line, format by format. Now after that, let's upload a fresh batch of test PDFs to see what's changed. And this time the CSV files come back with the correct column headers, date, description, amount, balance, all in the right place. And that alone already makes a huge difference. The Excel sheets also look much better. They're structured properly now with full rows and clean formatting that actually feels usable. On top of that, the QFX issue is finally resolved. Both OFX and QFX files open normally, no corruption, and they pass QuickBooks' formatting checks without a hitch. And across the board, the downloads are fast, stable, and consistent in every browser I test. It finally feels like the export system has caught up with the rest of the app. Step 4. Budget management tools and transaction history. We can now say that the basics are running smoothly, and that's why I'm starting to look at the app a little differently. Sure, it can convert files now, that's great and all, but most people don't just want a download button. What they really want, what I want, is insight. I want to be able to look at my transactions and actually understand where my money is going, and that's where the real value is. So the next step is to move beyond just being a utility kind of tool, and then start turning this into something more meaningful. So let's go ahead and send in this prop. The app's next feature should include budget management tools and a full transaction history with the option to export the transaction history. Replit responds by building out a new dashboard page. This one focuses entirely on the user's spending habits. The interface now shows categorized expense data that helps paint a clear picture of monthly finances. Users can scroll through visual charts that break down their monthly spending, see patterns over time, and even filter their transactions by category, whether that's food, bills, transport, or anything else they want to track. Alongside that, there's now an option to download the full transaction history in either PDF or Excel format, which adds another layer of flexibility. Now, it's no longer just about converting a file once and then forgetting about it. Our users can now be connected to their financial activity in a way that feels accessible and actually useful. It does exactly what we want it to. We can check our spending, we can filter by category, and export our full history if we need it. It's straightforward and it works. Step 5. Accounting software integration. Right now, if someone's using this tool for business or bookkeeping, they're probably not just exporting files for fun or trying to get that data into something like QuickBooks or Xero. So to make this actually useful for accountants or small business owners, for example, we have to send this next prompt. The next feature is one that allows for easy imports to accounting software like QuickBooks, Xero, and etc. Replit now adds templates for QuickBooks-friendly CSV files and fine-tunes the QBL export format. Now, this stuff is important because accounting platforms usually require very specific formatting. If anything's off, even by a little bit, the import just won't work. So now with those templates in place, the files should need the exact structure required by those platforms. So after that, I'm going to try to upload the output files directly into QuickBooks Online. The good news is they passed the formatting validation process without any issues. Everything lines up the way it should. Now that the upload is completed, I can finally view all the imported transactions right there within QuickBooks, and they also show up correctly inside Xero. Right now, it's clear the app is no longer just for a casual use. It's polished enough and accurate enough to be used by actual professionals. The accounting integration confirms it's ready for real-world business workflows. Step 6. User authentication. So as the app starts to gain more features, it's obvious that we can't just have everything wide open. People need to be able to come back to their data, tweak their settings, and pick up where they left off. And that means it's time to introduce user accounts. So I'll send this next prompt over. Implement user authentication and begin. Replit sets up Firebase authentication to handle the full flow. That includes username and password integration, password recovery just in case someone forgets their login, and session persistence so users stay logged in even after refreshing their browser. These are all small pieces on their own, but altogether they form the foundation of a personalized, secure experience. Once our login system is in place, our users can access a history of the files they've uploaded, set their own default export preferences, and manage their budget tools without worrying about losing their data. Everything now feels a lot more secure and a lot more personal, which is a big step forward from where we started originally. Step 7. Stripe Premium subscriptions. So far, the app works well and has some real utility, but to turn it into a sustainable product, it does need a monetization layer. Now, I don't want to lock everything behind the paywall, so the plan is to offer a premium tier while still allowing our free users to convert files with a limited volume. So to move things forward in that direction, I'm going to go with this prompt. Implement premium subscriptions with Stripe. Users should be able to subscribe to premium for more features and advanced capabilities. And then I'll follow it up with users should be able to input credit card details before confirming the subscription. Red Light now integrates Stripe checkout in test mode and sets up the full payment flow. That includes a credit card input field and a secured gateway for processing payments. Red Light also added Stripe webhook listeners to track events like new subscriptions and cancellations, and built out UI logic to restrict certain features for free users. Alright, so now we're going to run through the payment process using Stripe Guest Cards. After a successful checkout, as you can see, the app updates the user role and unlocks access to premium features. Those include unlimited conversions, more advanced reporting tools, and automatic syncing with bookkeeping apps. And that's the full breakdown. An entire SaaS product cloned and rebuilt using just prompts and one AI tool. From PDF conversion to budget tracking, Stripe payments, and accounting integrations, every core feature is up and running without a single line of code. And what's super cool about this isn't just the app, it's the actual process. Each prop shapes the product and each fix moves it forward. And the best part, none of this requires you or I to be a developer or even hire a full team. If we've got an idea, this kind of build is now something we can all actually pull off on our own. And if you want to see more builds like this, or you've got something you want cloned or recreated with AI tools, please do let me know. Drop a comment, like, and subscribe, whatever works for you. I've got more builds lined up, so I'll see you at the next one. Thanks for watching.